up, guys, and welcome back to the ViceCityGamerz podcast. Just a couple guys from the Miami area coming together to talk everything gaming. Today we have a couple cool topics for y'all. It looks like we may have a leak of when the Nintendo Switch 2 or Super Nintendo Switch is coming out. We also have the specs of the device. We're going to have to take all that with a grain of salt because some of it sounds legit and some of it sounds a little bit suspect. But we're going to get into that. And also, we're going to talk about the Xbox Direct that's coming soon. Should be very, very exciting. Drop a little bit of details as to the future of Xbox, which seems pretty bright. So let's see what's up with that. And a few other topics. So if you like what you're hearing, if this stuff interests you, feel free to give us a like, sub if you're new here. And yeah, we're going to get right into it. I'm
Jay,
here joined with my...
What did you say, Jay? What's the future look like for Xbox? Looks
bright.
What? That's right, I thought.
It looks bright. Yeah. Don't get me started, bro. Yeah, man. So, well, let's jump right into it.
Let's do it.
Let's jump right into it. So, interesting stuff. So, if you're looking at our thumbnail, you're going to see a logo that you either find very nostalgic and familiar, or you're going to wonder what the hell is that. So, there is a little device that's been around with us for 30 years or so called Game Shark, also formerly known as Game Genie. And long story short, it connected to our game cartridges and basically lets you cheat in the game. It lets you have unlimited lives, unlimited money, be invincible, you name it, it was in there. It came with a cool little book with all the codes and everything like that. And it evolved from Game Genie to Game Shark and a lot of interesting things. I know that for the PlayStation, it was something that plugged into the back of the PS1, but also had something like a memory card that would go into the memory card slot, and then a disc also. It got pretty complicated at times, but anyways, they were long gone for a while, and it seems like another company just purchased them and is getting ready to come out sometime in the summer. Now, the fun part here is that they put out a tweet saying that their device they're very excited about it getting ready to come out along with the Nintendo Switch 2 in September of this year. So needless to say, the internet exploded. Everybody is talking about, wait, what? It's coming out with the Switch in September? Now, grain of salt, right? Like, it could be that they're trying to do this as a little marketing thing, right? To just bring attention to themselves. And if that's the plan, it works. Or maybe they're developing along with the Switch 2 to make sure that it works with it. And they know little details that the average person doesn't know. So, what do you guys think about this?
Man, that's going to be awesome if they come out. For example, like, let's say if they come out at the same time, that if Nintendo comes out this year with that attachment, that's going to be great because Nintendo still uses cartridges. So that's going to be like a easy setup for Nintendo. Like,
What you just say, Chris?
Was that the Nintendo uses cartridges?
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I thought you said it was going digital, bro.
Hey, you never know. But now that we say Game Genie, or Game Shark made this announcement, so that makes you think that they're not going away from that cartridge platform that they've been using for years.
Yeah.
Fucking Napoleon Dynamite on your ass.
I hate to play devil's advocate, but what if it's like a digital version of Game Shark? I don't know.
Shark AI,
how would that work? I don't know.
Some kind of I don't know. Maybe it's like a game and you download it. I don't know.
Would that make you a hacker?
Yeah, right. 100%. Modding the Nintendo's not gonna damn mod games like that. No way. Not. Probably they're going cartridge again, along with their usual specs that suck all the time.
Yeah, man.
I mean, some of them are pretty good here.
Well,
one of them is not. refresh rate, refresh display.
Let's get to which one it sucks.
Improved battery life, 8 gigs of RAM, trash.
But the trashiest one of them all? Which one?
64 gigabyte storage.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't know, because I would argue that 8 gigs of RAM is a worse thing than the 64 gigs of storage. Because
this is what, 10?
These SD cards are cheap as fudge now, bro.
Right.
So you can get a terabyte easy.
That's not the point. The point is give the consumers what the consumer wants. The consumer wants more memory space.
I want
Right?
more RAM.
I want more memory. Well, I want RAM and more memory space as well. I mean, it's
Yeah.
only 2 gigs off of the Xbox S. The Xbox S is what, 10 RAM? I think it is, something like that.
Yeah, so apparently the Xbox Series S has 10 gigabytes of RAM, but apparently the big part about the reason that it might be okay to have that 8 gigabytes of RAM, which I hope it doesn't, because the Steam Deck, the ROG Ally, all these guys have 16, and then now you're gonna come out behind, and taking that step backwards, it doesn't make sense. But apparently the Xbox Series S is able to pull off a lot of stuff with that 10 gigabytes because there isn't a Windows to run, basically, right? So if you have a PC, you're going to need at least 16 gigs to run anything, because you also have to run Windows in the
Right.
background and stuff like that. So if it has a bare bones interface, like they normally have, like on the Switch right now, it's either white background or dark gray background and no files for you. It's just all your games all over. So I guess maybe it's enough, but I definitely expected to see something higher than that garbage. But I actually am excited as hell about the 120 gigabytes, or the 120 hertz refresh rate, because now that we've played the ROG Ally, we know like what we've been missing out on.
Right.
Extremely smooth appearance. And actually, Prince of Persia, not to jump too much on topics, but new Prince of Persia demo just dropped for the game that's coming out soon. A lot of reviewers have played it. They're extremely excited about it, saying that it's a great game. Um, on the Xbox, day one, there is a patch that you have to download, and you're able to play that game at 120 hertz. So
Really?
people are going to start to see what's possible. And meanwhile, we still have some games coming out at 30 frames per second, which is ridiculous. But it's exciting that Switch is going to make that leap. Hopefully, if this is to be believed, to have such a nice, smooth refresh rate there.
So here's my hot take on that. Why Nintendo's going to 120 hertz, right? You know why? Game Pass is going to be coming to Nintendo.
Oh,
You know it's
God.
coming, and they have to up their game, bro. I mean, you can't play Gears of War on the 20 frame per second system, right?
Yeah.
So there you go.
It's gotta look good.
I don't
I'm telling
know
you.
if a Game Pass would ever come to
Bro,
to
Microsoft is going to
Nintendo. Yeah, I hope so. Like, honestly, I hope so. But I wouldn't have any need to play Game Pass on a Nintendo Switch. I play my Nintendo games on the Switch.
Yeah, but you have a Rogue Ally that we should play your Game Pass in. Not everybody has that. Some people with like limited budget can only afford one system. They can't afford to have we're lucky enough to have 3 systems, 3-4 systems in our homes. Some people are not that fortunate, Some of them just can't afford to have just a
100%.
Nintendo Switch, and they're gonna buy a Nintendo Switch 2 and able to get Game Pass on it with a nice refresh rate. It's gonna be a good thing for them.
That's what I'm saying. I hope it
Yeah.
comes down.
Yeah.
It'd be more people for me to murk in Halo. But
Come on, Nintendo weebs, I got you.
I
Just say
I
Mario
think I
Brothers.
know why they're going with the 8 gig. They're gonna save money because a couple years ago, maybe 2-3 years now, I remember them saying they were teaming up to build data centers using Microsoft Azure cloud services. So I'm pretty sure that the new Switch is gonna be running just like the Series X the Series S, for example, utilizing the cloud to run the game so that all of it doesn't dump on the hardware. And I think that's the route they're going. And what's gonna save cost on the hardware is 8 gigs of RAM. I really hope that that's not the case, because I don't know if cloud gaming is there yet. It's pretty cool. Like, I played Sea of Stars, but it's a certain type of game on the cloud, But I don't feel, at least I'm ignorant to it. Maybe it is. Cloud
that type of
services
game
have gotten better. But man, I'm tired of seeing the Switch lag. It'll be games that shouldn't be lagging, like Pokemon, and it's running like crap. Zelda was
shouldn't be
pretty
like-
good at times, but you still had dips in frame rate, and it's like, what are we doing, man? Like, I want that beast of a hardware for. I think Nintendo's in a perfect position to capture everybody. Everybody loves Nintendo. You get
Yeah.
something that's powerful enough to make a Zelda like Red Dead Redemption 2 graphics,
Right.
you know, and give us that adult Zelda game that we always wanted.
Yeah.
And then you still can do the Mario Karts and the Mario Odysseys and all that kiddie stuff for everybody, but you can still cater to adults too. You know, we all are hungry for that nostalgia. We love Nintendo. It was with us since we were young. I think all of us, all three of us, no? I mean, you guys are old as fuck, but we all played it as kids.
Aging gracefully.
Aging. Hey, so what do you think the game that would be launched with that Nintendo Switch 2 will be? What game would you think they'll launch with it?
I don't know what it's going to be called, but it's going to be a 3D Mario game. Watch.
You think so? You think it won't be a Metroid?
See. Nah.
It won't be a Metroid,
Metroid?
game? No.
Oh, Metroid 4 has supposedly been in the works forever, so it's possible.
Yeah,
There you go.
I agree. That one will be there too.
But I
But there's
think
been
their
little
main
rumblings.
line is gonna be a Mario, like you said, either 3D or paper. It's gonna be my prediction.
Or the Mario Builder 3. What's it called? Mario? Is it Mario Builder? Yeah, right.
Mario
Yeah,
Maker, right?
Mario
Maker,
Maker. Mario
Maker.
Maker.
Yeah.
Mario Maker 3. Yeah. That'd be another cool
Yeah,
one.
I've heard some rumblings that, I mean, it seems like the new trend with Nintendo is they make both a 2D and a 3D Mario, and then they take turns, and that way, basically every year and a half, you're gonna get a Mario game, and we haven't had anything full on 3D since Mario Odyssey. So now here comes the Switch 2, and I feel like, man, Nintendo must have some scary dudes working at the factory or whatever, because nothing leaks out of there. They
Yeah, I
have
know.
games finished and ready to go, and they just hold on to it. And then now, we actually have something related to this, but
They run it
but
like
before
a
we jump
sweatshop.
into that, yeah, they got the sweatshop going on with the bodyguards there, making sure nobody.
Yeah. No
But
comment here.
but before we slide over there, real quick, before I wanted to talk on the specs a little bit. They're saying that the battery life is going to be significantly improved, and I don't buy that. If it's going to be a stronger chip, if we're going to have the 120 hertz refresh rate,
Yeah,
and
but it's
you're
gonna be streaming from the cloud.
yeah, but not everything,
Guaranteed.
right?
Yeah, but that significantly reduces the amount that's on the hardware. That's running.
100%, yeah.
As long as it's a better battery life than the PS5 controller, dude, I'm good with that.
Well, for
This
example, I
bastard.
get on like Starfield, I get like 40 minutes on my ally. With Sea of Stars, I was getting like 2 hours and some change,
Oof, yeah, that's nice.
and I was streaming that from the cloud. Wasn't a graphical powerhouse. What games and Nintendo are graphically like, crazy.
It's like me, bro.
Well-
On my Xbox Series 2 Elite remote for my Xbox, I get 40 hours of battery life. On the PS5 remote, I get 3.
Listen, set up a timer, set up a clock, and do some real testing, man. You're just slandering my system, man. Why do mine last so long? I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong.
facts.
Because you're playing
This guy.
like you're probably playing Sea of Stars on it. I'm playing like Gran Turismo on it, which with the app take it kills the
No.
battery, man. The app take freaking thing on it kills the damn remote. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I saw what you said though. Yeah, Gran Turismo 7, in order to really immerse you,
Mhm.
I heard that the controller just does a whole lot of things to make you
Yeah.
feel that rumbling, like when you're
Right.
on a smoother road versus a grainier road versus hitting water on the road. It's pretty cool that they do
No,
that.
yeah, like when you hit your brakes on the water and on the rally races, it's cool too, man. Because you really got to press down a little bit, and it makes you feel like you actually have to, gives that pushback, which is pretty,
Yeah.
which I like.
Pretty
That. I do like that.
Pretty advanced controller, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty dope. It's just a battery life
Yeah.
sucks, but it's pretty dope.
Yeah. Maybe someday.
I see you.
Technical
it's-
marvel.
No,
You
I'm
could
not
say.
lying. No, it is. I think it's pretty awesome, man. I like
know.
it, especially when you play Spider-Man 2 and you get in the little messages in the background through your remote and people talking. Yeah, it's pretty nice, but I wish the battery life was better. I mean, I understand all the stuff that's going on, so that's probably what kills it. But it's a pretty awesome remote. I agree with you on that.
Sounds
Battery
good.
life still sucks.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Maybe if it had AA batteries, it would last longer.
Man, those
So-
AA batteries last like a week.
And then what? You have to buy more?
Yeah, but they last a week.
I got rechargeable ones.
That's
Yeah,
where
and
it's
those
at.
that-
Swap 'em out.
Yeah, that's why I got
So
two
that's where it's
rechargeable.
at. And so one more thing, 64 gigabytes of storage. While I disagree with Nintendo Switch going with 64 gigabytes of storage, that sounds absolutely ridiculous. And that is what kind of makes me think that maybe this isn't all legit, because maybe these are old specs, because 64 gigs is what we have now in the Switch, and 8 gigabytes of RAM, I believe, is what we got now. So it almost looks like those weren't updated, but they updated other things. I don't know. Again, when it's a leak, you got to take it with a grain of salt. It's fun though. It's fun to speculate. This stuff's coming out, but I gotta say, if they need to cut down somewhere for the price to be acceptable, that's where it's gonna be. Because like BJ said,
100%.
these SD cards, you can get a freaking terabyte one now for $100, and at that, and a Nintendo Switch with a terabyte, you're getting there. But without putting in that SD card, where you're gonna download a handful of games on there, come on, Nintendo. But anyways, we kind of alluded to this a little bit, but information's coming out. There's an article on Kotaku. Again, we've been talking a lot about salt lately, but take this with a grain of salt. Their credibility fluctuates a little bit. But I'm going to read this right off of here. Physical editions of several popular Switch games appear to be out of print right now, and it has fans wondering if Nintendo's select style repackaging of these titles might be imminent ahead of the rumored Switch successor. And what they're trying to say there is that, similar to how Xbox Series X and S, the game boxes look a lot like the previous generation, but they do have that X and the S on the corner. So they're thinking that maybe they're taking these games down to change out the artwork to show, compatible with the Switch and whatever the next console is going to be called. So that's kind of what they're kind of alluding to here. But let me read a little more here. So,
Super Switch.
yeah, man. Hopefully, Super Nintendo Switch, man. Let's go. So, Nintendo, a Twitter account dedicated to highlighting sales and deals on Nintendo games and products, started noting that some of Nintendo's first-party games are out of stock at multiple retailers, after Nintendo's highlighted games like Paper Mario, The Origami King, to Metroid Dread. Discord user a Shadow Link was able to round up a list of affected games that appear to no longer be available at stores like Amazon, Walmart, Target, and GameStop, though each game's availability varies. You can check each game's status across multiple retailers at Deku Deals, and shout out to them right there, because that is an awesome name for a website. Do you know where that's from? I know that Chris doesn't. BJ, Deku Deals, Deku, the great Deku tree.
Yeah, come
in,
on, man. Zelda.
Hell yeah. Zelda Ocarina of Time. Love that. Love that.
Never
So
played it.
we got.
He's in Breath of the Wild and
Hated it.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, is he? Sweet. Love it. Love it. So we got Paper Mario Origami King. We got Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. I thought that game looked really cool, but I'm like, it's always full price. I'm not paying full price for that game. The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. That's the remake of the Game Boy version. I played the hell out of that game. Absolutely loved it. Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, Fire Emblem Three Houses, Fire Emblem Engage, Yoshi's Crafted World, Wario Get It Together, Nintendo Switch Sports, Super Mario Odyssey, Splatoon 2, Super Mario Maker 2, and Mario Strikers Battle League. So as you can see, there's some heavy hitters affected here, like Super Mario Odyssey. One of the most surprising is Fire Emblem's Engage, which only launched last year. As users on Reset Era and Nintendo's have pointed out, it might not be so dire, as Nintendo may be prepping to re-release these with new SKUs, possibly with branding that makes it clear that they're playable on both Switch and the rumored successor. More rumblings that the Switch 2 will be announced by March of this year and may even release for sale in the first half of 2020. Talking about their excitement about the new console. Dev kits should already be out there, but devs are keeping tight-lipped on this. So that was a mouthful, but pretty interesting stuff, would you say?
For something that's been leaked like this, I'm surprised Nintendo hasn't said anything about it. They have kept like tight lip for a better, for lack of a better word, in regards to this leak. I mean, this is another thing that makes you think that it's probably not true. The specs are not true, and maybe the system won't come out to November, December, maybe instead of September. But I'm surprised Nintendo hasn't said anything if this is a true leak.
Yeah, I don't think there's a chance that shit comes out November or December.
No,
They want to be well ahead of that push for the holidays.
you think so?
They make their money then, and they make even more money during the holiday.
Well, even October or November. I mean, come
Yeah,
on, release in
September
October, November.
is
That thing would be
already
sold
a
out.
little late now, but that's technically summer, no?
What's that?
The first Switch, the Switch came out in March.
Yeah,
Really? At the beginning of the year? Yeah,
I was
So
expecting something like mid-year for this one.
really.
mid-year, I mean, if you think about it, it's two opportunities for them to make money. As soon as it comes out, everybody goes nuts. They buy it, it sells out everywhere, and then they restock. And as the holidays come around, people are going to go nuts buying them again like crazy. So you double bang them versus here come the holidays. You crank out as many as you can. They sell out, and then other people don't come through. They can't get them, and that's people that don't have them in their hands. It's going to be interesting to see because every single time a console comes out, they sell out. You can't get any more. But I wonder if they've been just building up their stock, and maybe they're going to be ready for it this time. Maybe everybody who wants one's going to get one, and they're probably going to make some crazy record sales.
Hopefully they could do something that you can only get one instead of scalpers getting 10 of them and then be selling them at like $800-900, which is crap.
Yeah.
Well, there's experts that are speculating that the Super Switch, doesn't stand a chance to get as much Switches, or how you say that, to surpass the Switch 1, because it hit perfect timing. COVID, everybody was at home. That's why they purchased so many.
No, it's Nintendo though.
I think
Nintendo
that's
always
false
sells.
because if they come out with some banging hardware, I think it's gonna sell regardless. But let me ask you guys something real quick. Based on this article, does it sound to you like they're gonna keep for the Super Switch or Switch 2, whatever you want to call it, they're gonna keep the same exact card for that system?
You
Or
mean the same
is it
cartridge?
gonna, yeah, the same cartridge, like the games come in, same format, same size cartridge, everything? Or if it's gonna be like the Nintendo DS or 3DS, where you can actually put the 3DS cartridge and also like a Game Boy Advance cartridge if you wanted to
Right.
play
I
older
lean
games.
towards that. I lean towards that.
Two
And
two
maybe
different.
it's like, yeah, maybe one slot that fits both kinds. And I feel like they're probably gonna do something different. And granted, I'm not very savvy with this stuff. I don't know how much it costs to make the cart and everything, but apparently a lot of games come without the full game on the game card, and then you have to like download the rest of the game or whatever because there's a big difference in the price of an 8 GB card versus a 16 versus a 32. So I guess they're being cheap and they're trying to get the smallest card possible. But maybe throughout all these years they have started making their own new kind of card that they can kind of make in-house where it doesn't cost them as much and they're going to start using that. And I like what you're saying, BJ, because I've thought about that. That maybe there's going to be a slot with outlines where it fits the new cartridge, but also if you line it up towards the center or whatever, however they do it, you could fit the older cartridges in too. Maybe I'm asking for too much, but if they keep it separate on a handheld, you're eating up at the space that you have to work with on the interior. So I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see, but hopefully we find out soon.
It would make sense if they have
100%.
bigger, if they give you more memory space. It'll make sense. to put a game on a
Yeah.
8-bit
You don't
cartridge.
want to
and
let
then-
go of that.
put the game on
Yeah.
an 8-bit cartridge and then let you download the rest on your hard drive on your 64 gig hard drive on your Switch, right? That's kind of
Yeah, but
Well, so-
remember, if they got their own data servers now, it's not gonna be as much of a impact as we think.
listen. It's memory
Ugh.
space. Get
It
memory
depends
space.
on how much weight is gonna be carried on that cloud. It's gonna be a black cloud with a
Man.
heavy water about to come out that shit, or
I
it's
think
gonna
my
be a
Pow
white
Kitty has
cloud
a.
on the sky.
I think my Pow Kitty has 120 gigs of memory space in that thing compared to a Nintendo Switch's 64 gigs.
Yeah, but
What
it
were you
didn't
gonna
come
say,
built in, bro. You bought an SD card, you stuck it in.
Shh, don't be spoiling my shit.
Yeah, man. Good times.
Even in my Ally, I upgraded 2 gigabytes.
2 terabytes.
You know?
You mean?
2 terabytes, my guy.
2 terabyte. Yeah, sorry.
But that
It's
came
late,
with 200. That came with 256 gigabytes on it, right?
500.
Oof,
500.
look at that, 500, and Nintendo
Yeah.
still at 64. Come on, do better, Nintendo.
It's Nintendo,
They're trying to
bro.
make it affordable, man. Supposedly it's gonna cost $400. So if it costs $400, that's only $100 away from the PS5 and the Xbox when it's not on sale. So
But you
But,
see, this is the smart thing about Nintendo too.
I did hear though that the Joy-Con on the Nintendo Switch has like a 40-hour battery life compared to the PlayStation 5 remote with
it,
3.
it should have more. That
my
little
God.
thing. It should have more.
Spread the juice. It
What happened,
definitely
BJ?
should
We
have
cut
it,
you
man.
off with our fuckery.
sorry.
Nah, it's all good. It's where Nintendo's smart. They're gonna do it at 400 if that's true. I mean, according to these specs, I would think that's true. And look at where they're cutting costs: the RAM, the gig, the storage, and they got that partnership with Microsoft for the Azure cloud service.
Yeah,
So
Game Pass.
if they were to
Oh, man.
compete with, say, Ally, all of those systems cost like $600-700. You know, nobody's looking.
Yep.
That's like for hardcore gamers like us. You know,
Like me, yeah.
that's
Or
not
idiots like
for
me.
the.
Who
yeah,
plays
but-
Mario Brothers
Nah.
2
But
as
you
Rogue
get
Ally?
so much out of that. Like you use it as a computer as well.
Yeah.
And the
that's cool.
Switch is not gonna be that multifunctional.
No.
You know. Plus, what type of dock are we gonna see? Is it gonna come with a dock, or are they gonna make you buy that separate? You know. And that
Good
might
question.
be where they're cutting costs. Like they might
Still
want to
400.
do something like a Xbox, you know, or PlayStation. Say you had the disk drive 500 without 400, you know, something like that. They might do a dock or a dockless. I don't know,
No,
but it's
then
gonna be cool to see what's up.
Then they won't make money when they come out with the Nintendo Switch 2 Lite, like they did with the Nintendo Switch Lite, right? They still got to make money somewhere. So,
Bro,
nah.
these guys know nothing else than to make money. I don't know if
Yeah.
you're aware of this, but the Switch has never really gone on a full sale. Every Black Friday, it's bundled together with Super Mario Kart, which came out on the Nintendo Wii U and got made into deluxe and then brought onto the Switch. So, you know, here you are Black Friday, maybe I'm going to get a Switch or whatever. Yeah, you're going to pay full price. You probably get a game boxed in,
Yeah.
the old ass game, and you know, so
Still fire.
they've been making money. They've been making money, and
100%.
they're probably gonna do it with this one too. You know,
Yo, but they need to do better. They're gonna do a dock. It needs to be like one of these external GPUs, man.
that would be
With
sick.
these specs, like I want the adult games as well
Yeah.
as my little, you know,
Pokemon, buddy.
nostalgic kid game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
Pokemon. There's no secret, but
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if they make a Zelda that's like a Red Dead Redemption, we won't be talking about any more of this thing. If Zelda Tears of the Kingdom had good graphics, like Breath of the Wild had better graphics than this, and I get it, they packed a lot more into this game running on some old ass hardware that's trash. That's why it lags. That's why there's not that much in it.
Yeah.
But that game would have kicked ass, and it did kick ass. But imagine if it had better graphics. we get a Zelda adult. I don't even want to say adult, man. Just
Well,
a more
More
serious
realistic graphics,
narrative.
right?
yeah. So
A more serious narrative with realistic graphics, and that would be the only talk for the whole year,
the
guaranteed.
great the greatest thing would be if Nintendo, their leak that just happened, it's all false, and they're actually coming with, let's say, with like 12 gigs, whatever, instead of 8 of the GPU, whatever it is, and you're able to take that system and play Gran Turismo 6 on the go. That'll be fire. Now you have 120 hertz, on the system, and you get more gigs, say 12 gig instead of 8 gig, and then you get more storage space on it because Gran Turismo is not. I mean, I'm sorry, Grand Theft Auto is not going to be a 8 gig game if it comes to the Switch. It's going to have to be at least 150 to 200 gigs. So if Nintendo wants that kind of money, because that game is going to bring money, everybody's going to play that game when it comes out.
Yeah,
Nintendo's
but I
got to
think
step it up,
that's
and
expecting too much, bro. It's
well,
Nintendo. Honestly, like these specs is what I expect from
yeah.
Nintendo. I don't have much faith that they're
I
they're
mean,
their own thing, man.
the formula works for them, and I know the formula works has been working them for years. But sometimes, like me, I shied away from Nintendo for years because I don't find anything in that system that I enjoy. I mean, I know you guys like Zelda and stuff like that. I mean, I enjoy Mario
Whoop
Kart
your
because I play
ass
with
in
my
some
son.
Smash Bros, though.
And that's the thing. I don't play Smash Brothers like that. My son does, but that to me is more geared. I mean, I know some serious gamers who play Smash Brothers, and I don't want to knock them because everybody has their niche. But for me, I'm more of a Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat fan compared to Smash Brothers. I know it's a complex game. There's a learning curve to it. If you really play it, it's not my style, and I shied away from Nintendo because they tend to be more. This is my personal opinion, more of a kid-oriented system compared to Xbox, compared to PlayStation, right?
Yeah,
So
100%.
I do expect. I hope they bring up their game to get gamers like me back to their system. For people like me to buy their system, because then if I know my son's gonna want one, and and I probably want one too, but I'm not gonna buy it just to play Mario Brothers 2 remade on the Nintendo Switch 2. No, that's not my style. I want something more adult oriented.
There's always two types of Pokemon, bro. Hey, something dawned on me the other day. So I was talking with my brother, and he told me to check out this game on the App Store, right? Let me see what game that was. It's called Koromon, and it's kind of plays like a old school Pokemon for the Game Boy Advance.
Mm.
And I was thinking they should remake all those games for the App Store and have those old games, like those two-dimensional, Pokemon games, for people that want to play on your mobile device, and then go into a more graphical open world, kind of like they're doing now, but better, because Scarlet and Violet were trash. And try to dive into that, world of Pokemon, like a World of Warcraft type thing, where you can start at any region that you want and make it like a MMO to immerse yourself in there. So people can still get the yearly, Pokemon, annual Pokemon, the 2 different ones that you need, but you can download that on your phone, because phones now can play almost anything.
Right.
And then take it to another level with the new stuff, the 3D world on like the Super Switch.
Man,
You know?
I can't believe that up until now they haven't done a Pokemon MMO. Like, it seems like a
I
no-brainer.
know.
It
That would be
seems
the
like
hottest game on the planet. I don't think Fortnite would stand a chance, to be honest.
Watch Fortnite
Seriously.
bring out Pokemon characters to their platform and stuff.
Bro.
I think you can
Hey,
already
Imagine that.
play it, so.
Really,
No?
I know you can play like anime like Goku and Peter
They
Griffin and
probably
stuff like
got
that.
Ash on there already.
Yeah, I don't know. I know they got
Who
Peter Griffin. I
knows?
heard that's pretty cool.
They
Yeah,
got
man.
everybody at this point.
So I kind of missed the train on Pokemon. Maybe I was just like a little bit older. My brother was big into it, even with the cards, with the Game Boy games and everything. And I guess I just missed it. But I would watch the cartoons, and I knew of it, and I acknowledge and respect what they've done and all that. But for the last maybe like 5 or 6 years or so, I've been looking to see, all right, which is the one that I'm going to get into. And then we had Pokemon Arceus, and I saw it, and I was like, man, this looks really good. I started playing it. It seemed good, but I don't know how it is that I fell out of it. But something just happened where it kind of lost me at some point. I felt like there wasn't, maybe it was too open and didn't guide me enough, where I just
Yeah.
kind of felt like, all right, I'm going to the boss I'm supposed to fight, but I'm getting destroyed. What am I missing? What am I doing? But it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it until eventually I just didn't come back to it. So then the Scarlet and Violet come out, and everybody's like, this is the one. But I can't support when they make a shit game,
Nah.
and the worst part about these guys are they will not acknowledge that there's something wrong. So much so that they won't even fix it. They'll just be like, nope, it's done. And that's bullshit. So for that reason, I did not want to get into that one. But this whole time, I'm thinking like, where's the MMO? Everybody wants an
Where is it?
even people who don't play MMOs, put that game out there, and you're just it's gonna go crazy. It's gonna go insane.
Think about it. You got like, imagine booting it up like a Mass Effect. You get to create your whole character, right? You get to design them fully. That could be you. And then you get to choose whatever region. They got like 6, 7 regions now. You get to choose whatever region you want, and you can play through them like that. And you can access through SSSN, cruise ships, flights. You can go to other regions. They have events going on both. You can get like raids going on each region, and you can actually collect them all finally in one place. That'd be
Gotta catch
amazing.
them all.
So whichever
Yeah.
region's your favorite, you could start at.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a Kanto dude. You can go to Johto, like, and you experience different Pokemon, different events. Team Rocket over here, Team Lava over there, like different legendaries. It would be amazing, and they haven't done it. But maybe they've been holding out for like a cloud server database, like Microsoft partner with them.
Mm.
But
No,
Nintendo
won't.
I think that's too much hope, because I think
Nintendo
Game
won't put
Freak
Pokemon
is like a
on
little
that.
arrogant, and like you said, they don't acknowledge that they're trash. They just keep putting out, and people keep buying it.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you didn't buy Scarlet or Violet, because those games were atrocious.
I can't support that.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not.
I
I'm gonna
want to
wait
play
for the
it,
next.
but like, I'm not doing
It's
that.
not worth it, man.
You know, maybe they're not doing it because they're afraid that that will be the one to end them all. That'll be the last one,
All right. Well,
and they won't be able to keep putting out a
No,
game
but you
slightly
can
different,
keep adding to that. You know,
adding
you can
like World of
keep, hey,
Warcraft.
look,
that.
a new region. Yeah, they just come out with expansion packs, and then you can even charge a monthly subscription for a game like that, like World of Warcraft, and it would sell outrageously well. But at the same time, that's what I'm saying. You can go to the little annual thing and play it on your phone, right? If you want to go to those old like streamlined games where the story mode is pretty linear, you can do that on your phone. So they got different avenues. They're just not using any imagination anymore, man. That's how I feel.
Right. Oh, let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, speaking of games that have been around for a while, I don't know if you guys heard of this. So Banjo Kazooie was a game that was on the N64, is where it started. It was owned by Rare,
Rare,
but now
baby.
Xbox owns Rare, and apparently I don't know if they're remastering or they're doing a remake or something, or maybe they're just gonna do a fresh Banjo Kazooie. I guess it would be the third game. But yeah, when I read that, I thought it was pretty cool. I never played I played the original ones. I didn't beat them or go crazy with them or anything like that, but I know that there's a huge following for these guys. So much so that it was a big deal when they put those characters in Super Mario Smash. It's a big freaking deal. But it's an interesting thing because Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon came out on PlayStation
PlayStation.
originally.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Crash they made a fourth game that looks a lot more modern, and now they're saying that there's a Spyro in the works too, and then you've got your Banjo-Kazooie. So it's kind of funny that these original PlayStation and Nintendo games are going to be for sure day one Game Pass. You can only play it here kind of deal. So I saw that and I thought it was interesting. But then again, we might have that situation where Xbox is like, all right, we need to recoup these $70 billion plus everything else that they've spent. And maybe they'll sell those games to the other consoles. So I thought that was cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
Oh, real cool. Oh, how the
Yeah.
tides have turned. I'll tell you right now, that shit ain't
Oh,
coming
man.
out on any place but Game Pass.
Game Pass. Yeah.
Why? PlayStation, from what these leaks show, is not in the best position like we thought they were, like way on top. I think it's a lot closer now. And since PlayStation, I mean, Sony's been cutthroat throughout this whole thing from what the FTC showed us. They've been cutthroat. I think
Right.
now is the time where Microsoft puts the boot on their ass
Yeah.
if they want to go out like that. Now's the
I don't
time to
think.
put the pressure on Sony. And you know what that would do? That would make Sony come out with fire IPs, all
Yeah.
type of new
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
When they
Hopefully.
feel like they're way ahead, I feel like they take their foot off the gas and they just coast.
Yeah.
But when they
You know
got
what?
pressure,
That's when stuff
they come out
happens.
with some bangers.
Yeah. 100%.
You know what else that'll do? Take us right into our next topic of the Xbox Direct coming soon.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
January for Xbox. What do you guys think about this? What do you guys know about it?
Oh, okay. I haven't read much about it. The only thing I've heard about is the title of the game might be Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. That's the one thing I've read about it. Voice actors wise, I don't know who's doing the voices or anything. Man, I hope they do the game justice. I hope it's a great game. I hope they make it like a God of War style that talking about. That'll be awesome.
So that I'm so glad you said that because I had a thought, and this is something I didn't put in our little show notes, and I was worried about I would forget it. But when you mentioned that Uncharted came out with a PS2, blew up with a PS3, and concluded really nicely on the PS4. They had 4 games. There were a couple of extra ones. Something came out on PSP, I think. Another one was the one of the two female protagonists. I think
I
Lost
think
Odyssey it's called. Yeah. So,
they were
but it's
like a
4.
Miles Morales, right? Like shorter
e-
iteration. Yeah.
Exactly. It was a shorter
Mhm.
version. A great game still, nonetheless. Um, now, but then they had the 4 main games, and they ended it so nicely. Like I played those games as they came out, and when I played the last one, it was just such a perfect way to close it out and end it. But basically, Nathan Drake, which is the main character in Uncharted, is basically like a modern day Indiana
Indiana
Jones.
Jones. Yeah.
So I think it's really cool that you're gonna have a game a lot like Uncharted come out
Mm-hmm.
after Uncharted is in the past. Because I can tell you with all certainty there will be no more Uncharted. They sealed the deal perfectly. It's in the past. Naughty Dog is working on apparently a new IP and Last of Us 3. But this is perfect timing for an Indiana Jones game because I'm sure there's plenty of people that really enjoyed the excitement and the discovery in Uncharted, and we don't have that right now. So this is going to be
Right.
very cool, very exciting stuff.
I hope they do the game justice, and I want to see like a lot of action, a lot of cinematics. Like that's Indiana Jones for you. Indiana Jones, when you watch the movies, it's like this whole big, mirage of things that you see. When you go into a cave or whatever it is, all the action and I hope they do it justice. I hope it's kind of like a God of War with the cinematics, or like you're walking into an area and it just opens up in front of you and it's beautiful. I can't wait. I can't wait to see it.
This is actually, I heard some recent news of Machine Games. Real quick, the award-winning studio behind recent Wolfenstein series, which Wolfenstein a lot of people love. I
Mhm.
haven't gotten into it, but Destin Legary from IGN pointed out some amazing stuff that just took me over the top. Indiana Jones is actually my most anticipated game that's coming out this year. And I think it's going to come out this year too. Because the developer directs last year all came out in the year that they showed them. So I think now this game, Indiana Jones, even though it's kind of coming out of nowhere now because we haven't heard anything for a few years of it. But I think since it's on the direct, it's going to come out this year.
Yeah.
Machine Games. Remember that game that I told y'all, Chronicles of Riddick Escape from Butcher Bay, which I thought was one of the best games for the OG Xbox?
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of said like they might go that route with Blade or whatever based on the... Dude, that game is incredible. It probably still holds up till this day. Machine Games, the developers behind that, are the ones responsible for that game. So I have no effing doubt that this game is going to be amazing. None. They're going to make this with a little bit of that soul, bro.
I hope they make it a third-person game. I hope it's not a first-person game. I don't think Indiana Jones is meant to be played in a first-person view.
No, it doesn't have to. You can cycle through.
Yeah, I mean, I hope. I mean, but I hope they don't go the first-person route for Indiana Jones. I want to see the whole third-person view.
You don't want to slap somebody with a whip in first person?
You could slap somebody with a whip in third person. It's the same thing, same satisfaction. I don't think Indiana Jones should be a first-person game.
Apparently, they've been hinting at that, right? That it might come out as a first-person game.
Oh, really?
Well, I thought that's why you were talking about that, because I heard that at some point. I mean, maybe it'll be one that you could switch back and forth, or maybe it's just first person. But the only thing that I've played like that, because there's going to be some kind of parkouring element. You know, it's Indiana Jones. You're running and jumping and everything.
Right.
If you've ever played Dying Light, it's basically a zombie game, and there's, as you level up, you gain different skills. But one of the things you start with right off the bat is being able to basically run up to, mind you, it's first person. You run up to a ledge or an edge, and you jump, and you'll hold on to it, you'll pull yourself up, and then you end up picking up a lot of other things. And they do it really well, but it's just weird to do those kind of movements in first person to me.
Yeah. It has to be a third person game. It has to be, I think. The movement, it'll be so difficult. And I don't know. I don't know how to put it in words, but I really don't think that they should make it a first person game. It has to be a third person game. Third person for sure.
I don't know. I think they'll make it work regardless.
You think so?
I think it's going to be, but look, Wolfenstein was first person. Chronicles of Riddick Escape from Butcher Bay was first person.
Oh, okay.
I mean, look, let's read the show notes on the Xbox. Indiana Jones game, right? Machine Game, the award-winning studio behind the recent Wolfenstein series, will reveal their upcoming Indiana Jones game, an action-adventure that puts players in the leather jacket of the legendary archaeologist. I mean, that might be like a first-person type of thing, if you read into it. Developer Direct will showcase more than 10 minutes of the game and developer insights, including details about the game's setting and story, how fans will actually play as Indy, and additional details from his globe-trotting next adventure. That shit sounds dope, man.
It sounds awesome.
This thing went from like, to like, let's go. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, with everything they're putting into it, I'm sure it's going to be great. And with their confidence on it, it sounds like it's going to be good. So that's going to be exciting.
I wonder how his hat's going to stay on.
I know that it's going to stay on, except for the one part where it falls off and you got to reach back to it. You know, it's going to probably say like, press A, and you got to hit it at the last second to pull it through.
A little quick time event to keep the hat.
Yeah.
So
there's so much to pull from. There's so many cool things in those movies.
Yeah, I know. You think they're going to be any new announcements for any new games?
Not on this show.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
they're gonna concentrate just on things that they've already been talking about already.
I mean, did Hi-Fi Rush get shadow dropped on the developer direct?
I don't remember. Don't
Interesting.
remember.
It might have. But I think if they shadow drop something, it's gonna be like a Hellblade 2.
Yeah.
That thing's been in development forever. We found out about that game with the reveal of the Series X and S.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the very first game that they even announced for next gen. They said that it's gonna be 2024 for Hellblade. They didn't give a specific window or date. So if they do shadow drop anything, I would assume it's Hellblade 2.
That'd be crazy to shadow drop a full on AAA heavy duty highly anticipated game like that. That's gonna be huge.
That'd be amazing.
I think when I see Hellblade, and now that we got to see the gameplay, I see God of War and Horizon mashed together. That's the vibe I get out of that game, which looks badass. So I can't wait to see some of the combat and see what it's really like to play the game fully. So
have you ever
looks good,
played
man.
the original?
No.
I played parts of it. I ain't finished it. I played some of it.
It's pretty wicked, man.
Yeah.
And if you play the first, like, you get immersed. It's very linear, but Sanoa's a pretty dope character, and she's kind of like schizophrenic. So all you hear is like voices in her head while you're walking.
Part, yeah.
And the louder they get, you know you're going in the right direction.
The right direction, yeah.
It's pretty
That's
neat
pretty
the
cool.
way they did it. Yeah.
No, that's really cool.
And they'll tell you where you going.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Playing it with headphones is so real.
Like, yeah, it's pretty awesome.
If you play with headphones, man, you're gonna be like, holy crap. It's really cool.
Does Xbox do the 3D audio? Or is that just like a Sony thing?
Spatial audio? No, I think
no,
so.
I'm legit.
I'm not sure.
He's just been throwing jabs all.
I know, all day. I haven't said one thing today.
These guys have been abusing me in the chat today, so I got to get back. So, well, no, I mean, I know that at one point they talked about the 3D audio, I guess it's called, but I don't know if it's something that's just going to come out across the board or if it's like a Sony thing. I'm not sure. But apparently with newer headphones, you're able to, it's not just going straight in your ear. Like they're able to take advantage of like the shape of the ear or something like that. I don't know. I really, it's not just, okay, it's to my left, it's to my right. You're able to kind of feel a distance and like a certain degree of behind you kind of thing. I don't know. It'll be interesting. But if you hear the voices, and you hear something like that would be pretty rad.
Pretty tight. No,
that'd be awesome.
No, you hear in the headphones like certain things, and it's spooky. It's kind of spooky, but it's really neat. You gotta play. I think it's one of those games you do have to play with headphones on.
Yeah.
To get the whole experience of it.
And I think it's like Norse mythology.
Yeah, it's something like that,
right? It's pretty cool, man. And it's free. You got Game Pass.
Yeah, Game Pass. There you go.
It didn't take that long to beat, to be honest. But I believe it's one of those that if you die one time, you start over.
The whole game?
I think so. I didn't die. I got close, but I did not die.
Is that something like Returnal, I guess?
I didn't play Returnal.
Oh, that's the PS5 game where
die, you start over.
Really?
I
don't remember.
So I wonder if they're gonna carry that in the next one.
Interesting.
Let me look that up. I don't want to give anybody bad intel.
So you think there will be no announcements for new games in this Xbox Direct show?
Say it again.
You think there will be no new announcements like for new games, like say Gears of War 6 or anything like that?
This is not that show, man. This is
You go.
I mean, I'm going based on what I enjoyed the developer directs last year, and since they started, it's like the team starts talking about their game. It's more like behind the scenes. It's not like showing you a trailer, or they go over some gameplay and they talk about the environment and new technologies that they implement in the game and stuff like that. It's not your traditional like showcase, and I don't think that they're gonna announce anything new. I think what we see is what we get.
No, okay.
We got
Alright.
4 great titles. I'm not really into the Civilization type
Yeah.
game,
mate.
like, but Obsidian is like they're Insomniac right now.
Right.
Obsidian hasn't missed yet, and they're coming out with a Valve, which is pretty anticipated. A
But
lot of people are looking for that.
it's a 4-day event, isn't it? Or no?
No,
No?
it's one day.
Uh,
It's
That's one. Oh, I
January
thought it was more
18th.
than. I thought it was longer than that. I thought it went from January 18th to.
No, no.
Oh, I'm
It's only
thinking
4
about a different
games
thing then.
that they got noted here.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought it was a longer event than that. That's what I was
After
wondering.
the developer direct has concluded, ZeniMax Online Studios will host their Elder Scrolls Online global event reveal, a standalone presentation where the development team will unveil the game's next major chapter, including new zones, storyline, and major features of the game. So technically, it's 5 games that they got listed here,
Gotcha.
but on the direct itself, they're only going to speak to Indiana Jones, Avowed, Aria History Untold, and Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. I believe it.
And what kind of game is Avowed?
First
Avowed,
person.
it's kind of like a shorter. It looks like a shorter Skyrim to me, with a wackier sort of graphics. It's gonna be an RPG, I believe.
All right.
Yeah, but it's a first person, right? That's about a first person game, kind of like Elder Scrolls
Yeah,
style.
fantasy action RPG set in a fantastical, vibrant living land.
Sounds good. Sounds
Yeah,
good.
I think it's a first person. That's what the trailer showed anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
But it's curious to see, because the first time that they announced this game, it didn't look at all like what it does now, based on the last trailer. So I think that they did like a pivot, which might be a good or bad thing.
Hopefully they're reading the room and doing what they got to do. At least they have a diversity in their games. You got a third person, you got a first person, you got another first person. Maybe that one's more action based, the parkouring thing in Indiana Jones and stuff. So a little bit of everything, a little something for everyone.
It's called permadeath. When you
Oh
die,
God.
your game save data will be deleted, and you have to start over from the very beginning of the game.
With all due respect, fuck that shit. I got shit to do.
Well, you know what? Didn't
pretty
Hellblade
dope.
get? Didn't they announce Hellblade last year as well in the Xbox Direct last year?
They announced Hellblade when the Xbox came out, when the Xbox Series S.
When they
Correct me if I'm
revealed
wrong.
it.
When
Yeah.
they
No,
revealed
but
the Xbox Series X,
so
that's when
longer than
they
that. But they also
long
had
ass
it.
time ago.
They also had it last year in the Xbox Direct for 2023, I think.
Well, I don't know about the direct. You might
Yeah.
be right, but I know they showed that game like three times already.
Yeah, let me look it up.
And
Yeah, man.
I don't think
looking
they
it up
need
over
to
here.
show anymore, but this is why I think it's gonna come sooner than later. They showed that game a lot over the years,
Yeah.
and
they're
now
gonna
that
drop
they
it
have a
soon.
direct,
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a lot sooner than we expect. I don't
Yeah.
think it's gonna be like a fall game.
I wouldn't be
And
surprised.
I agree with this. I think that they should take their time. When it's ready, it's ready. You know?
Right.
It took
right,
all
right.
these years, but hey, if they need more time, keep it going. Release it when it's ready.
I wouldn't be surprised if they show some Fable as well. Give you a little.
On this,
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
bro, Fable, you gotta hit them with that
Hey,
showcase.
What better place to do it than do it? This Xbox Direct. Show a little piece of Fable.
Fable is the Xbox game that I'm most excited for.
Yeah.
I have a lot of nostalgia for the one original on Xbox 360 is the one I played it on.
That's a lot of fun.
I have a lot of nostalgia for that. It was almost like a different kind of Zelda game where you could choose to be evil or
Right.
not evil. Pretty cool.
That's a fun game.
You know who's making Fable?
No.
The
Obsidian?
same people that made Forza.
Really? Turn 10?
Yeah. Turn 10.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Cool. That's
Yep.
did
That's
they
gonna
make it?
be
Who made,
I mean, and
did
look
they
at the
make it originally?
graphics, bro.
Did they
No,
make it originally? No.
no, not at all.
Hmm. That's
It's
crazy.
gonna be a pretty interesting few years to come.
Yeah, man. Well, speaking of Xbox, apparently a new controller leaked out, or at least a patent that Xbox is working on some kind of Switch-like controller, which, of course, got everybody excited that Xbox and Nintendo are working together. You know, the clickbait was real, but
Mm-hmm.
apparently it's something like the Kishi or the Hashi or whatever. What is it called?
Kishi,
BJ is the only one who knows what it's actually
Yeah, I know.
called.
I
The
tell you right now.
Kishi.
Razer, Kishi.
The
The Razor.
Oh, the Takashi 69. Got
Takashi
it.
69.
So yeah, but apparently that's what it is. Something like that. It works. Apparently it's two separate pieces that you can attach. I don't know if it's connected in the middle or not, but it's something like that where you can connect it to your phone or to a tablet, and this kind of lends itself to going more in the mobile direction and using the cloud version or portions of Game Pass. And during the whole FTC uh, issue that was going on with Activision Blizzard King, Xbox, Phil Spencer did mention that this would help them get their foot in the door with mobile because they obviously didn't have a mobile presence. So, and the question has come up, why are they creating a controller? Maybe they should be making something like the Switch or something like a handheld, but I really don't think that is coming anytime soon because I know that Xbox and Microsoft has supported the Asus ROG Ally a lot, so much so that the buttons, the joysticks, and everything are ripped right out of an Xbox controller. And I don't know that they would compete with somebody who they consider, so closely like that. And there's so many people throwing their hat into the ring when it comes to these handheld PCs that I don't know if that's realistic. But hey, you got something new Xbox branded to look forward to.
I know. I play Game Pass on my phone with the Razer Kishi, which is it's pretty cool. In regards to the Switch control, the Joy-Con, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I don't know how I feel about it. Unless it's one of those things that Microsoft is working with Nintendo, like you said, and that that gives more of a hint that Game Pass is coming to Nintendo. I don't know how I feel about that because I love the Xbox remote. I think it's perfect. Not only that, you could play that you could play that remote. You could play the remote on your phone. And I'm pretty sure if you could Bluetooth it to your iPhone, you could Bluetooth it to everything else. Because you could do it on your PC, you could do it everywhere. So why reinvent the wheel when I think the Xbox controller is perfect.
Hey, say that last part again.
The Xbox controller is perfect. Has great battery life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just
great.
damn
You got
near
to invest in the
flawless,
battery
bro.
life.
Hey,
Damn
listen,
near flawless.
you pay $14 one time, get the rechargeable battery, and it works flawlessly. You get 30
That,
hours of battery life.
Yeah, it just keeps growing, huh? 20, 30, 50, 80. Yeah. Yeah.
haven't charged my shit in 6 months, baby.
It's
The stock
1 year, 6 months, 1 year, and one charge, bro.
it is I mean, it's definitely the best controller of 2007. I mean,
The
it's great.
Xbox, yeah,
It's awesome.
100%.
Oh my god, Jake.
Was that the Xbox controller?
Yeah.
Man. Such
It's the best.
slander.
Oh.
Y'all too messy this episode. Have some respect. Yo, if Xbox was making a controller, Joy-Cons, that's a specific piece of equipment. There is no use for a Joy-Con on an Xbox console. There's no use for a Joy-Con on a computer. The only place that Joy-Cons are adaptable would be a Switch-like console.
That
So
or they try to make it more accessible for people who have handicaps that can't hold a controller with two hands. So you can have two separate pieces and hold it, separately. That
yeah,
will make
yeah,
sense. Accessibility,
it could.
for I mean,
And they're
that'll be the
very
one.
good at accessibility. That's right.
Yeah,
I didn't even
right.
think about that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it
only time will
could,
tell. It's a patent, so it may come, it
yeah.
may not.
Yeah.
There's a lot of patents that come out. Some people don't understand that a lot of times patents come out and they don't end up turning into anything.
All right.
And this is a patent that just came out. Usually the patents come out way, you know, when things are already in motion. So we'll either see something or we won't. But it's interesting to
Well,
speculate.
but it's down the
PlayStation just came
line.
out with a new controller, like a new, accessibility type style controller, where the buttons are in like a circular shape, and they have a joystick that comes in and out. So maybe
Mm.
Microsoft is doing kind of the same thing, but with Joy-Con styles instead of that whole big thing setup that PlayStation did, which looks pretty
Right,
cool.
right. Speaking of the joysticks, we've got Joy-Con drift, right? It's a big topic, especially with Nintendo. These Joy-Cons come out, and for anybody who hasn't experienced it yet, you're playing your Switch, and all of a sudden your character is moving to one side, and no matter what you do, you can't stop them from moving to the one side. And basically, your joysticks are getting worn out on the inside over time, and it was something that I guess Nintendo didn't really think about. So now there are these new joystick replacements called Hall Effect. And what that means is, or the way that they work is that they're using magnets inside. So nothing is getting worn out, nothing is getting
Mm.
messed with. It's just using magnets. So theoretically, it will not ever wear out. But fun fact that I learned just recently the other day, the first time that we know of a Hall Effect joystick being used is actually in BJ's favorite console, the Dreamcast. And ever since then, all these companies, Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation, have all decided to be cheap and drop in there these joysticks that they probably have a freaking pallet full of until they go through all of them, and then maybe someday we'll get Hall Effect
Because
again.
they're making money off of it. They're
Yeah,
making
it's
money off of
cheaper.
it. Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, but it's cheaper, and you got to replace your controller more often.
Yeah. And going back historically, the first time that you really saw joysticks was, I mean, it was basically the first time you saw a joystick. Well, I mean, you had the Atari 2600 from back in Chris's day, but when the N64 controller came out, it had that joystick, and it was kind of newish to everybody. And if you played Super Mario Party, there was a mini game where you had to take your hand and put it on the joystick and do circular motions
Yeah,
as fast as you could. So people were grinding it out because it's plastic on plastic rubbing inside.
right.
So if
Yep.
you go and you want to play an N64 from back in the day, you pull out the controller, the joystick is like flopping around all loose and stuff. So what's really cool is that the retro community is on another level. They're making a bunch of cool stuff, and what they've made are Hall Effect replaceable joysticks for your N64. And it's easy to open that controller, pull out that joystick, put in a new one, and all of a sudden you've got one that'll never wear out for your 25-year-old controller. So it's really cool stuff. And
That
Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox need to get on that with that. The
was
next
it me?
Switch better have it.
Was it me, or was that? Remember that joystick was so awkwardly placed right in the middle of the controller. That's one of my biggest issue with that controller was that the joystick was right in the middle of the controller. I didn't like that. That
Some
was weird.
people say that it's like the worst controller of all time, but
Yeah,
listen, I was there. I was there. I saw I was reading GamePro magazines, looking at the pictures and everything, and it was just like I didn't know what the hell innovation meant when I was a kid, but I'm
yeah,
looking at this thing and I'm like, look at like this is crazy. What is it? And when I started playing with it, I adapted to it very quickly, and I
yeah.
pick it up today and I use it no problem.
Really?
But I guess it was one of those things of
Yeah.
I don't know.
I,
And nostalgia probably plays into it big time too, you know?
I never got used to that controller. That was weird.
That's why you missed the best Zelda of all time, Ocarina of Time,
Hey, they've been using
MVP.
they've been using the same graphics for the past 20 years, so I really haven't missed much. Every Zelda
Uh,
Yeah.
has the same graphics.
Yeah, I mean,
You
we all
got
sometimes consoles like to hold on to things from the past, like AA batteries. So what else we got here?
Unless you buy, a Series 2 Elite controller, which is amazing. It has like 40 hours of battery life.
Yeah.
wait
Compared
till you
to a
see what the
PlayStation 5
Elite 3
controller.
got.
Ooh, can't wait. I'm not getting there probably.
Now, you guys
I'm
think
glad that.
we don't have any information on like the backdoor deals that Nintendo's got with Xbox.
No, I haven't heard
And
anything.
you guys alluded to Game Pass being on the next Switch, just like the Call of Duty is rumored to be on the next Switch. Or I think it's confirmed that it will be on the next Switch.
Hmm.
You think that they made some type of deal that said like, hey, you can use our servers for dirt cheap if you put Game Pass on, or for damn near free, and just let Game Pass be the money maker? Like you're paying for the servers through Game Pass on the Switch?
I don't
I don't
know,
know.
man. I mean, it's a good way to make money. It's a good
For
way to make
Microsoft.
money.
And they get to
Yeah.
use the shit out of the servers with whatever games they want, or however they
Y-
want to go about
But
that.
Nintendo wants to make money too, so I don't think Nintendo does anything for free.
So I agree with you, Chris. I think that two weird things will happen if that happens. You know, some have called me Nostradamus. We'll see if I'm right here. But so check it. If you know that you can buy the new Switch and then also get Game Pass, and all the big Xbox games are coming day one to Game Pass, Xbox sales will completely plummet. Because why would you buy an Xbox when you could buy an Xbox on the go?
Well, I think it will come to Game Pass, but Xbox exclusive. It won't come day one to like a Xbox app for Nintendo. It will come just. I think that's the
Okay,
way they will do it,
Oh.
which will make sense. I mean, if not, you're going to lose money,
smart.
right?
All right, so moving right along, another topic that I came across here is that apparently Sony has been looking into a live service fighting game. So more information is coming out as the people dig through the information that recently leaked from Sony. In this case, a slideshow seems to show that Sony has been working on a live service fighting game that may be coming to Evo Championship Series, which is for those who don't know, is basically an event, a gaming event, something like esports owned by Sony. This can work to hype up the game and put it in front of the masses, regardless of whether it's a good game or not. And Sony was doing some research to find out things like how often um, fighting games drop new characters and how often they do updates and stuff like that. And what I thought was kind of fun about this is that a lot of people don't know this, but uh, Sony basically had their own version of Super Mario Smash Brothers back in the day. It was called PlayStation All Stars, and basically they had a bunch of characters that used to be in a lot of their first party games. So they had, for example, they had Kratos, right? The God of War himself. You get to play as him, and you get to fight with people like the Big Daddy from Bioshock, Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal, and Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid, Nathan Drake from Uncharted, the character from Dead Space as well, Ratchet and Clank, Devil May Cry, Infamous, and the list goes on. I think it had about 30 characters or something like that. But this was back on the PS3, and something that eventually you guys will come across. There are some Easter eggs in God of War, both games. In one part, so somebody asks him, "Didn't you once fight in a great tournament against some of the people from across the universe or whatever?
Yeah.
Didn't you even beat up a princess or something like that?" And it's funny because he says something like, "I don't want to talk about it," or "Those are days I'm not proud of," or something like that. And it's basically referring to when he was in a Smash Brothers type of game. So it's funny
PlayStation
to
All
see
Star,
this
yeah.
super serious game, and it makes that kind of a joke. So
That's funny.
it's very fun stuff. So
Which God of War was that?
Ragnarok, towards the end of
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok, so you're not going to see it for a bit.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's cool.
but
Wait.
Nah,
this
that's
might be
dope.
fun. It might be
Mhm.
something fun, to mess around with if they end up doing something like that. But I don't know that they would that they would go back to that. They might try to do something new, something different. But if they do go
Right.
back to that, that'd be fun. It'd be a meme
Yeah.
for a while, but it might be fun, you know?
I know they tried to capture the Super Smash Bros. Energy. It didn't translate that well, but I heard it was fun. You know,
Yeah,
I
it
think they
reviewed
would
well back then.
if
Yeah.
they, yeah, yeah.
And
I think that if they were to do a live service game, it's got to be something new, man. I mean, you could throw Kratos in there, but I don't think it's gonna be the
yeah,
same PlayStation All Star.
Hmm.
Besides, who doesn't love new shit, man? Give something a try.
everybody does.
You know,
Do it.
Yeah, I
Dragon
feel like
Warriors or whatever the hell you want to call it. Something
it's
new.
probably like a 90% chance that it is not going to be the same thing again. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see. But
You think they'll do more like a Street Fighter style kind of game?
maybe,
Yeah.
maybe. Probably be more Street Fighter than it would be Mortal Kombat or something like that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah. Nintendo. You know, come on, Nintendo. You wouldn't even put the blood code. I mean, yet I remember they having blood codes for the Mortal Kombat 1, the first Mortal Kombat on Super Nintendo.
Yeah, just helping Sega boost themselves up. You know, the adult system or the teenager system at the time. You know,
Mm-hmm.
blood is already included. You don't got to do a cheat code to get it to come out.
Well,
So,
no, you had to do a cheat code for the Genesis.
oh,
So
you
you had
did?
to, yeah, 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 you had to do a little code for the, which was easy. It was like I can't remember. It's been so long. But yeah, you had to do a code to do the blood. And I don't think Nintendo had that. Not even fatalities like they did in the Genesis version of it.
I thought it was just in a setting, like turn it on or off.
No, it was like I don't know. Look it up. I know they had a code for the original Mortal Kombat in Genesis.
Okay.
Which is I think it was called the blood code.
I'm looking it up now.
Yeah, yeah. It was ABACABB.
Blood.
Wow, I remember that.
Yeah,
ABACABB.
yeah.
Wow.
That was the blood code in that was the blood code for the Mortal Kombat and Genesis. Remember that?
Back in our day, we didn't have to pay to get extra things in the games. They were just there, and you would do cheat codes, and then it would come out,
Mhm.
or you would use Game Genie. Now
Yeah.
everything's a
Yeah.
now everything's a microtransaction.
Yeah.
Oh, you
They've
want
kind of
that? It's in your game, but it's gonna cost you $5 to unlock it.
Oh.
But you know, that's one of the coolest nostalgic things that games nowadays have gone away from. The little cheat codes they used to put in for extra lives or extra they've gone away from that, which is sad because I used to look forward to like getting my magazine, my Nintendo magazine or whatever Game Informer, whatever it was, and they come with cheat codes on it. Remember that?
Yeah,
I
man.
miss those days. Those days were great.
I think Grand Theft Auto was one of the ones to keep it going the longest. I want to say GTA 5 still has cheat codes,
Yeah.
where it's like a up, down, down, left, right, whatever, and then all of a
Mhm.
sudden you've got all the guns or whatever.
All right.
Gotta love it.
Yep.
Fun times. All right, so moving right along, we do have two more little quick things I want to cover. So CD Projekt Red is not interested in being purchased or acquired. They recently made a statement saying the same. They said that, so judging by how they said this, it might kind of hint that somebody tried to make a purchase. This is something that, you know, might be covered in an NDA or something like that, where they're not going to come out and say who tried to acquire them. These are backdoor deals that go on all the time. But apparently they have made the statement that they intend to keep growing and building up and become their own thing. They're not interested in selling themselves off at such an early stage. With the success of the way they turned around Cyberpunk and made it extremely successful, you know, it shows that they have a ton of potential. But Sega and Capcom have recently done the same thing, where I think in the last year somebody tried to purchase Capcom. Not sure about Sega, but I wouldn't be surprised if Xbox has, since, you know, they've had that long history together. But it looks like these companies have plans. They want to build themselves up better and greater than they were before, and they value their independence, you know. Though I do know that Phil Spencer likes to give the studios their freedoms and stuff like that, but then you have something sometimes where you give them too much freedom and you end up with that vampire game we had at the beginning of the year that we don't talk about anymore. Flaming piece of shit. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, Project Red has done some great games, right? They've done The Witcher. which is great.
Hell yes. Witcher
And
3, man.
Yeah. Cyberpunk was another one. So I, I'm all for them. Let them stay independent. Some people work better that way instead of working under a big company like say Sony or or Microsoft. I, I know that we tend to be selfish and we want to acquire as much stuff as we want for our own company and to do what we want to do with it, like make those games exclusives for ourselves. But it's cool to have independent studios as well. Capcom has been independent for years. Project Red as well. So I'm not, it's great. Let them stay independent. Let them do their own thing and make great games like they have in the past.
Especially of their caliber. CD
Yep.
Projekt Red, them being independent allows their game to be on more platforms.
Right.
So everybody gets to experience.
Right.
So,
You get no
I'm looking.
exclusivity.
Oh yeah, like I don't know why lose out on money
Mm-hmm.
first of all, and then secondly, like your game is gonna attract way more heads than just one console. So why not spread the love? I'm
Say
looking at the Game Informer, and it says the CEO Adam Kinsinski.
Kaczynski.
Sorry if I butchered that. He was speaking to a Polish outlet, Parkiet, and he said that they had asked him about rumors regarding the studio being target of a takeover, and he stated via translation now, "We are not interested in being included in any larger entity. We have worked our whole lives to get to the positions we have now, and we believe that in a few years we will be even bigger and stronger. We have ambitious plans, and we are passionate about what we do. We value independence." Pretty strong
There you go.
statement,
Good
man.
for them. Good for them.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Yeah.
Good for them.
so Witcher 3 was my first Witcher game, and it was the first game in a long time, like in my adult life, that I put a stupid amount of hours into. I just wanted to 100% that game because it did a phenomenal job of immersing you. And I've played some games where the side quests are as impressive as the main quests. But Witcher, it's just when you think you've gone through them, there's just more and more and more. And the DLC that they put out was just it was like a whole nother game, and it's just incredible what they've done. And then there came a point where I guess when sales slowed down, they went and took all their DLC, not the full games, but like all the extra hairstyles and all the extra gear and all that, and they just give it to everybody to download.
Mm,
You know,
cool.
and they genuinely want you to experience their game, and that's one where I'm glad that you can play it on any console, even on the Switch now, because there's such an awesome story there, and it would be unfortunate for people not to try it. And you guys could probably pick it up by now, but as excited I get talking about God of War and Horizon and everything, there's a part of me that says, I know that Sony wants to stay afloat and keep doing their thing and surviving and making money, but it sucks that a lot of people out there aren't going to get to try it. Hell, a lot of people out there are going to hate on it because that's the competition. There are people that
Right.
hate God of War, never have touched it, but God of War equals PlayStation success, and they just can't have that. So,
Mm,
you gotta celebrate all these games, and the
yeah.
exclusivity
100%.
thing. I understand that it's necessary at times, but it's unfortunate to kind of like put a barrier between people and such an awesome experience. Because God of War,
Right.
as you're getting to see now, it's just something that
It's
everybody should
awesome.
experience. It's like
It's
it's not a
amazing.
game; it's a piece of art. Like
It is.
they do something that I read recently that I guess I realized it, but I didn't really know what I was looking at. Is there's no load screens, and every single bit of the story is in game, which
You know what?
a lot of a lot of modern day
I
games
just
could do
realized
that.
that. You're right. There's
Yeah,
the loading screens. I just realized that.
yeah.
Oh,
And the thing is,
yeah, yeah.
you feel like you're in the room. Like like when Kratos steps to somebody, you feel like you're right behind him. Like, oh, what's gonna happen? Like
Right.
you're
Yeah.
there. You're.
I just,
There's times where you're like, bro, if a fight breaks out right now, I'm getting hit. Like
yeah.
it feels like you're there, and I feel like everybody should get to experience that. So, man, I
It's
really
funny you
think
say
the
that,
future
man.
is Game Pass and some kind of Sony
Yeah.
variation of that.
That's cool. I just realized what you just said. Like I haven't seen one loading screen except for like the very beginning when you close your game, you're getting back on it. I haven't.
That's it.
Yeah, man, that's pretty dope. I just realized
That's it.
that's awesome. No wonder the game gets my attention like that. It keeps me going the whole time, and then you lose like 3-4 hours of your life. You're not realizing it.
Last of Us 2 is the same thing. Horizon,
Oh.
from what I remember, same thing. This is the
Last of Us
the
2
caliber
remake.
of game they make. Yep.
Last of Us remake comes out January 19th. I'm ready.
When you
I saw you.
reuse assets, it goes a lot smoother.
Classic, the classic Xbox guy. It's the same game again. It's the same game.
Well, no, God of War 3 and this God of War are two different games. I mean, the graphics are night and day. So
Yeah.
Nah, it looks dope.
It's fun.
I definitely plan on getting into that. Like I
I'm an
said, I
Xbox
got
guy,
into
bro.
PlayStation late. This is my second PlayStation console I've ever owned, and I only own PS3 for one game. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna get into it.
Look, man, I'm in the late show as well. I haven't had a PlayStation in years, and PlayStation 3 was the last one I owned that I actually bought. And God of War, it's a great game. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. And I'm an Xbox guy. So, but I played God of War 1, 2, and 3, which I absolutely loved.
Yeah.
I don't think did they have a God of War for PlayStation 3? I don't remember if they did or
Yes.
not.
God of War 3 came out for PlayStation 3 and 4.
Did it come? Hang on. So what was the last one for 2? Was it just God of War 2?
So God of War 2. God of War 1 and 2 came out on the PS2.
Okay.
And then there were some in between ones. There were some ones that came out for the PSP that kind of filled in the gaps of the story. There was one that was a
Right.
prequel to the whole thing. The lore of God of War it's crazy. It's such an interesting story. And in the little I'm burned out. In the little documentary that I sent you guys,
Yeah.
it's worth checking that out because it's a short version of going through all the stories. It doesn't tell you about every battle you do because
Yeah.
the battles that Kratos is a savage animal. And man, I'm excited for you to play all the way through to the end of Ragnarok because everything that you accomplish kind of comes full circle in the best possible way. It's not a game. It's not a movie. It's not a book. This is a fucking masterpiece. I'm telling you right now.
I think that God of War 1 was the first game I saw a boobie on.
A sex scene?
Yeah, they actually they showed a boob. I think it was God of War 1 was the first one I ever seen. Other than that, I've never seen any nudity in any game. I think God of War was the first one.
You were like,
I was like, oh, hey, can I go back and play that again?
yeah, bro. Well, in The Witcher, you get a lot of that. You could legit go straight into a brothel, or you can kind of, captivate some female characters. Oh, but we went totally off on a tangent, real quick. On the whole. No, we went off. Well, I mean, thanks for that.
Yeah.
But we had Witcher 3 was the first Witcher that I played, but Witcher 1 and 2 were, if I'm not mistaken, they were PC games and they were pretty damn rough. But if I recall correctly, they teased that they're remaking the first Witcher.
Yeah.
And if they make the first Witcher like they made Witcher 3, get ready. It's gonna be another. They're gonna be making money, bro, hand over fist, which is good
100%.
because they're also working on, I guess, Witcher 4, unless they're gonna call it somewhere else, which is probably gonna follow Ciri. And I won't spoil things for anybody, but it's good, man. It's just more good stuff.
If they make Witcher 1, it'll be game of the year.
Yeah, not
remake.
to mention
Not
just the Witcher, bro. They're gonna keep Cyberpunk going too.
Nice. You know it's coming.
Nice.
Yeah,
I want to see them. If they make the next Cyberpunk, I hope it touches on the Edge Runners because I really would love to see more of the group from the Netflix special that they did.
It might be like a DLC or an expansion of some sort.
Gotcha.
But I don't think they're gonna do the whole game on that.
Nah, they got some kind of cameo. Would be good.
Spoiler alert. I ain't gonna say.
I haven't played it
but
yet.
you know the end of that.
I haven't played it yet. I'm behind on that one.
Bro, Cyberpunk is dope.
Have you seen the Netflix though, Chris?
No, not yet.
Ooh, watch it.
Okay, I will do.
It's not long. It's like 8 episodes.
Yeah,
I'm watching I'm
100%.
watching One Piece right now.
Oh
Well,
man,
you're never gonna
be
finish
there
that.
forever, bro.
No,
You're gonna take
It's like,
that to your grave, man.
oh, no. I'll watch it in between here and there.
He's 80 years old. He's like, I still haven't finished.
One Piece. I think forever.
Nah.
So anyways, next topic,
Yeah.
brother.
So in
what's
our last bit of news, you've heard of the Xbox refrigerator, Xbox
Oh.
memeing on themselves, and that's what you do. If somebody makes fun of you, you make fun of yourself first. But now you can go to Walmart and buy yourself the Xbox Series S toaster. I'm
Oh
gonna, I'm gonna
man,
put I'm gonna put that picture up
I'm gonna get
here
so
somewhere.
I'm gonna get so fat on eating bread if I get that toaster. I swear to God. I'm just gonna keep making toast over and over. I used to see that logo burnt. Oh, okay, wait.
Hey,
Can't wait.
what's in the foreground there?
Oh, there it is. The toaster. Oh no, that's the refrigerator. Hey,
Ah,
nice. I think it holds a 6-pack, right?
It does.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
I need to get that toaster now, man.
Yeah. Hey, you put it in your office. You could drink your beer or your soda and eat your toast at the same time when you're doing the cast.
This is my little
Oh, dude,
stash over here in the office, man.
Hey, we should what you call it? Review the toaster, bro, on live. Let's
I
do
like
it.
it.
Let's review the toaster. Let's do the
I
toaster.
like it.
I'm
Hell yeah.
gonna buy one.
It's out now.
Supposedly, I haven't seen
I
any
didn't
pictures of it out in the wild, but they said that you can get it
Yeah.
at Walmart.
Yeah.
I didn't know about this until you just told me in the notes.
I saw it a few days ago, but I totally didn't think anything of it.
Yeah, man, that is dope. That is funny. And it gives the logo on the toast
Oh man,
when
That's
it comes
that's
out.
badass.
What?
That's awesome right there.
let's see.
Oh,
Did you
let
put it on
me.
the screen?
I'm gonna get that shit. I'm not gonna tell my wife anything. I'm just gonna make her some toast with some eggs.
Oh,
It's
this?
gonna,
What like when the Virgin Mary comes out on it, like I don't know how that
Right?
happened. It's amazing though.
It's
oh,
toaster.
that is some awesome stuff. It looks just like a Series S.
Oh, no, I haven't. I can't. It's not where did it have it for sale at? I can't find it anywhere.
Is this real?
eBay.
Yeah. Yes, it's
Uh,
real, and you can buy it at Walmart.
I don't see it there. It's like toaster.
Oh, pretty
it's
cool,
on
man.
Mercari. I guess it's not at
Alright.
Walmart yet, but eBay's got
Okay.
them.
Or maybe
Oh,
it
you
was
scalpers.
already
jacking
there.
up. Yeah, jacking up the
Yeah.
price.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this will probably help console sales. They're probably going to include these numbers in there. And they're getting scalped. There you go. Now you could see what it's like.
You think they would add this to their console sale number? Be like, fuck you, Sony. We're catching up.
Hey, I
Take
bet you that toaster has some kind of Bluetooth capability though.
No.
Without a dongle?
Yo, this is the messiest episode in ViceCityGamerz
Oh
yet.
God. How many toasts can you cook or whatever you do to toast
You can do it
with
through your phone, Bluetooth.
Yeah. How many batteries? Are we still talking double A's or is it C or D's? All right, guys. We had a nice little episode here. We jumped all over the place here. We had a little bit of a mess. We had a little bit of a good time with each other. But if you like what you heard and you enjoyed yourself here, give us a like. Don't forget to sub if you haven't already. And check out our merch. We finally got merch. It's on Spreadshop. The link is going to be below. Feel free to check us out there. And don't forget, you got the comment sections. If you want to talk about anything we covered here in the episode or let us know what you want to hear about on the next one, feel free to do so on there. And thanks for supporting us and for sticking around, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.